सबको नमस्कार. मैं हूं डॉक्टर महेश, जॉइंट कमिश्नर फ्रॉम सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस एनिमल हस्बेंड्री, Bengaluru, Hesarghatta. We have been doing a lot of podcasts showcasing great luminaries in many sectors of animal husbandry. This is our 19th episode. You'll be surprised. Whom are we introducing now? He's my good friend, a family friend, and a great gentleman who is educated with double degree and then chose to be saying himself as a farmer. Whenever somebody calls, he says as a farmer, and he has developed today a multifarious activities of agriculture, livestock, and then even business conglomerate. He is none other than my good friend Ashok Kumar, who has been creating a great balance sheets for 40 years, and every banker would love to emulate such entrepreneurs in the country. So with these words, Namaskara. I welcome Ashok Kumar.
Namaskara.
So now, welcome to our podcast, Ashok Kumar ji. Now, can you brief about your childhood and how did you become a farmer entrepreneur?
Okay. I am from a place called Sulya, that is in South Canara district in the coastal part of, not coastal actually, it's in a Western Ghat. The coastal and Western Ghat from that belt. So we are basically all of us, we are into plantation activity. My father is a doctor, my mother is a graduate, but both of them they opted for agriculture. My father did not practice also. So in my house, my grandmother used to tell in Kannada that give me a hand to give it to many people. So that is a prayer she used to pray. So from the childhood itself, I never wanted to be an employer. Rather, I wanted to create employment. Great. So one of the area where I could see opportunity is in the rural areas. So then I joined after my PUC. I could have easily joined medical college with the free seat, but I joined for BSc Agriculture Marketing with the intention of going back to my native place and developing whatever plantation activity we have and to excel in that. But after my post-graduation, I realized everybody used to tell this so-and-so, son of so-and-so. It is my identity was lost there. Like they used to say that this person has got everything on his plate, everything is readily available. So he need not create anything, or rather there was no scope for doing some new activity or new venture. So then I opted for to come to Bangalore. I started with a small office in Narsimraja Road near the KR market with the consultancy. I was not earning enough. So then I thought then there was opportunity for irrigation system. And my father, my grandfather, we are all pioneers in irrigation system in those days. So I opted for drip irrigation, which is a new technology. Just in India, it is a beginning story. So I started drip irrigation business. So drip irrigation business, like those days, only people who had very less water, no hopes for water, they were the people who opt for to save the garden. It is not like today. So in the entire country, there were only few people who were doing drip irrigation installation, etc. So then I started importing many material from Israel. So by then there was a floriculture boom in our country. Especially Bangalore, Pune, Gurgaon, all these places were declared as very suitable, and one can earn crores together out of floriculture was the thing. So I was successful in supplying, installing, designing greenhouses and things like that. So and parallelly I started doing many arboriculture and large scale plantation work. So I was lucky enough that I got associated with the Ministry of Defence. So I could do a lot of arboriculture work for Ministry of Defence, DRDO. I could do several large properties of thousands together acre. So I could, I got a decent income every month. I used to get an income. Then I started buying land outskirt of Bangalore. Every month I used to buy 1 acre, 2 acre, 3 acres. So it was hardly 70,000 rupees, 80,000 rupees an acre. But then I was thinking it is unfortunate that I am not getting a water. But actually I am fortunate. Since I didn't get enough water, I bought more and more land. So once I got more and more land, like I had to borrow more and more. So I started borrowing from the bank. Till then I was not borrowing. So I started borrowing the money. So once you start borrowing the money, you have a target to repay. So if you don't repay, you become a bad borrower, you cannot borrow again. So I always used to be ahead in searching for some lucrative project where financially viability is the key. So I started with the nursery activities, vanilla cultivation and ruddy turfing, all this kind of gladiolus bulb multiplication. While all these crops those days one could easily earn few lakhs of rupees, about 6-7 lakhs rupees, or sometimes even more than 12-15 lakhs rupees per acre. So with that I could buy little more than 100 acres in Doddaballapur. So to make agriculture successful, animal husbandry is a part of it. So I started with the dairy farming. Along with the dairy farming, I also started sheep and goat breeding. So that activity I started, but because of water shortage in my area, growing green fodder and feeding the animal, it was becoming little difficult. So I did not further pursue on expansion. So I thought poultry is a good opportunity, because I always believe in revenue model. To do agriculture, one need to pay money out every day. Money in has to be every day.
Daily revenue model.
Daily revenue, weekly revenue, monthly revenue, seasonal revenues, once in a year revenues, then some of like well valued trees, etc., which is kept as a reserve, which comes as a standby over a period of years. So that's how I had different model. So my idea was, I used to make an Excel sheet and I used to try to implement on a similar line, that whatever the case, every day morning I should get money. So once I get money, I spend money. So like once we have money, once we make payment, our staff is happy, our labor is happy, our vendors are happy, and we are also happy. So even if we are not making a great profit also, the cash flow gives lot of it gives a big strength. It gives a big strength. So that is what I was concentrating only on cash flow, and I believed that daily cash flow is a very crucial aspect for any agriculture venture, because in agriculture venture everything you have to buy. So and you have to buy for the price what they ask, and when we sell for the price what they ask. So in both sides we don't have a control. So the only way is how efficient we are in production and how we can make the things viable. So then I was giving lot of importance, as I said, in cash flow. So I thought I'll get into poultry. So in poultry I knew many people. So poultry breeding was one of the area which was promising. So when there was a great bird flu incidence in India, many people were getting out of the business. So that is the time I ventured into poultry. The poultry was a profitable venture. So I have right now agriculture in various crops, like I have oil palm cultivation, I have traditional arecanut and coconut and other spices cultivation. I also have dairy farming, and I have nursery activities. I also have poultry breeding, commercial contract farming, and feed milling, etc., all that as on today. So, it is not just a venture, it is a successive venture to keep giving a result. The result is a balance sheet. A successful profitable balance sheet, profit balance sheet only can show you the success. Nothing else can show you the success.
Very good, Ashok ji. As we always believe that today what is happening is villages are becoming like old age homes, and you proved that even in a village or even in an urban structure can be created in the village, and you have demonstrated to the world that how agriculture, livestock, and even a business can be a profitable in the venture. Now I want to symbolically signify Ashok Kumar as with few words like courage, confidence, commitment, and straightforwardness. And you have borrowed with that courage. Many people will be scared to borrow money, and now you can elaborate what is the simple tips for the entrepreneurs, the courage to borrow and commitment to repay.
Yeah, first and foremost, it is not just courage to borrow. The point is, you should know that venture and you should know it is technically viable, financially feasible. Financially feasible is not just making meager profit. You should be able to make sufficient profit so that you can repay to the bank. So, always going for one single crop or one single animal husbandry activity, it is always risky. So, if you should have always backup planning for finance. For one venture or itself it's difficult. So, you should have the backup. So, anybody who is going to start a venture today, agriculture is an opportunity. So, opportunity is so much in agriculture. The number of hands growing food is coming down in this country. The number of hands eating food is increasing in the country. You see any village or any part of the world, you see only old people are in agriculture, and food for everybody has to come from agriculture. Agriculture is going to be a wonderful opportunity in the coming decades. There is no doubt about it.
Good points you raise, but we want to focus more on animal husbandry. Let me pick up dairy. So, in dairy today we say that we are number one in the world in quantity, but quality terms are competitive business ideas. We are not that way. So, what are your points to make a dairy sustainable in India right now, whether it is 2-cow model or a 10-cow model, as we have a biggest dairy of 3,500 cows, Bhagya Lakshmi. Which one you choose to the audience to recommend out of your experiences?
For a rural area, like 1 or 2 cow model, it's not a bad model, but you should have a cluster where first and foremost our microbial activity in milk is very high. So, we should be able to give a quality milk to the consumer and quality milk for processing. The animal has to be reared under one SOP. The feeding, the maintenance, all that has to come under one SOP. So, for example, if you are growing in a village, one village itself you can consider it as one unit. Like for example, 500 animal in one village, in let us say about 50 houses or 100 houses. So, all of them you should get the similar ration, similar kind of similar kind of quality of milk. The milking one need not do it in their house. They can do it in a collective milking centers where the animal can come, animal will get milked, animal will be fed with concentrate, whatever the medical checkup etc. can be done over there. So, that way what happens, the quality of milk will be standardized. Once the quality of milk is standardized, once you have given a standard feed for the animal, automatically the quality and further processing will come down. Our biggest problem in this country today in dairy, we do not have one single breed. We have failed, rather in the hurry to increase the yield, we have done haphazard breeding. So, because of this haphazard breeding, the immediate requirement of the day is we should have standardized animal breed. If it is let us say Sahiwal or Gir or Jersey or whatever it is, we should get a pure line, we should develop from there, and we should have an animal which is got a standard production this thing. Now, you see an animal Like if the animal, if you see, each part of that animal is one breed. So you don't know what is going to be happening. The animal may look fantastic, but the productivity may be very low. The consumption may be very high. The output is low. So there are a lot of issues. India has to concentrate on standardizing the breed and developing a standard breed. I think we have to copy this from Brazil. Brazil is successful with the Indian breed. We are also in a tropical country. We borrowed from European country the high output, high input, and what we had, the fantastic breed with low input and high output, we neglected. I think we have to come back, we have to concentrate, we have to come with a better breed for our country, and with that, with the collective model of dairy farming, one village, one unit, 500 animal in one village, all the animals will be treated on a similar diet, standard practices. Every record of that animal will be available at one point. It becomes like a large scale operation. Basically, it becomes
like poultry integration.
Yeah, it is like a poultry. It's an integrated farming. So that way, like that's going to be a success story. Already few places we have seen this 30 model cows and 25 model cows also. But again, a 50 model, 500 model unit will be more efficient. Once there is a scale of economy, rest of the things automatically falls down. The cost of production drops. A standard breed, one type of milk if you can get. We know this is the quality of milk what we can get. In India, I think one of the best standard breed is available is Murrah buffalo. Murrah buffalo is which is known for shorter just calving, intercalving period, and which has got a decent good milk quantity yield and excellent quality of milk. So I think certain areas we should focus on that. Dairy is definitely a future for not only for India, it is for the entire world. And yes, we have come and again, like we have seen, we are excellent when we are short supplied. We are bad when we have surplus. So we have to also have the surplus management system for every produce what you product, every product what we produce. So that way, that is a time like we should be able to create more value added product, like where there is a higher profit, etc.
Wonderful. Because Government of India is also looking at now Rashtriya Gokul Mission. So we are also now going back to the roots is a mantra, where we are now starting gear farming, sahiwal farming, standardization, and then traceability, animal mapping, gene mapping, and even our Center of Excellence Animal Husbandry, we are thinking of establishing such units for the future. Moving on, Ashok ji, what I want to understand from you is now you have built a bigger organization with so much of manpower from grassroots workers to the top management. What is your key that you said to me in an informal discussion? There are people with you for 25 years, 30 years. Because today building organization may be initially easy, but how do you sustain human resource? Technology adoption and I would say social responsibility what you take. And you said that if they pray every day with agarbatti, every day of your company, then that is where you have satisfied them. So can you elaborate more on that?
See, it is any enterprise is not one hand. People say that this man is created. It is not I have created. It is always a team. It is always a teamwork. So each person, maybe it is a driver or a sweeper or a cook or everybody, they contribute for the growth of the organization. So each has got something called a market price. Today, labor is a commodity. It is open for a market. You can retain a person paying less or paying with pressure, working under pressure. You can retain a person for few months or few years. But unless you retain a person, the organization cannot grow. The pattern will not. What we have done, we have developed a software way back about 15-16 years back. So incidentally, I also did a diploma in computer science. So that helped me to develop, and my wife is also an electronics engineer. So we developed a software In a small module we developed, it started with actually with dairy. So we track everything, including a person, material, everything we track. So then we see everybody's efficiency, certain parameters we consider. So, and in farming what happens, every day morning you have to give an instruction. It is a standard instruction. Now what we have made, the instruction comes automatically from the machine. So we need not have
Something
to go.
like AI driven or
It's not AI driven, it is automatic.
it's automatic?
Automatic. Like for example, any farm when you start, the first thing is in a day, it is how many laborers are there. So what is a work and what work we can do, what will remain, what is the priority, all this kind of questions is a day-to-day question. This instead of one person telling, we have made it into a system. We have developed a ERMS system where we are tracking all resources which is connected to farming. So in the whole process, what we are doing is every person efficiency also we are tracking. So first and foremost, we give lot of incentive for the people who work for more number of days. So like if somebody works for 365 days, we should value him more. If somebody may be very efficient, but if he is working for 270 days and if he is taking about 80-90 days leave, means that 90 days of his work somebody else is doing it. So what we said is the person first is a regular. So we started giving opted. We made even the salary increase also we made a formula. These are the things which is going to be considered. So if you create this, automatically it goes up. Second thing is like for everything we should make that person is responsible and he should become a decision maker. So every day morning if somebody has to ask somebody else, so he generally feels bad. So I have to take his permission. So but if you make him a boss, not boss, these are the things you have to deliver. This decision you have to take.
This is duty.
It is his part of his job. And he knows what is right also because he is in the field. You may not be in the field. So you may be knowing better than him. But on that particular moment, he is a better person to take a decision. So in case if he is not able to take a decision, he can consult. What should I do? What is the option? I feel so and so. So we involve him with the people with the decision making. So we have all the records, all the traceability, and we have given certain amount of what you call, you can't call it as authority. We have given a freedom. Freedom. Now ultimately the comfort for an employee is more important than that of money also sometimes. So he should feel that I belong to this organization, this is my job. It's 9 o'clock, I have to do this. So nobody is going to tell him that 9 o'clock is going to start this. So that is what it made. Involved, people get involved. Once somebody gets involved, once he is a part of that involvement process, once it is his decision, he will never allow it to go wrong.
Fantastic.
He will never allow it to go wrong.
Ownership comes in there.
It's not the ownership, it is just you can call it as a ego.
Okay.
Because it's, I have taken a decision, I am implementing, so I am implementing.
He is responsible for that.
Because he knows that I have to do this. So that way, like a person who knows, once he does it, second time he gets confidence. Third time he gets more confidence. So he is confident that I will do this. Only when there is a crisis, like we have to involve with them. And when there is a crisis, we have to take it a blame on the team and we have to look for a solution. But ultimately, the person, if he knows, is going to get better payment, better than the market payment. The salary increase is going to be better than the market. And if he is comfortable and if he feels secured, because in terms of insurance, in terms of various other activity, or in terms of emergency, so if he knows that I can fall behind with my company. So that is a kind of strength. What it makes person to not to think of getting out of the institution. So that way it goes.
So you said that, like people make organizations. Your people have made your organization.
Coming to the laborers, this is a very interesting story.
Okay.
We made every farm, we made a mess. Irrespective of men and women, everybody will be eating in the mess. So there was this one particular couple, they were working. The husband, for some reason, he wanted to get out of the farm, but his wife was not ready.
Okay.
You know why she said, I am not ready? This place, I need not get up early in the morning, I need not do the cooking, washing, taking care of the thing, then going for work, coming back, again cooking, again doing all the housework. All this is less here. Here I am more comfortable. Wherever you want to go, you go. I am not going to go.
You are running a farming enterprise like a software company.
It's not like a software company. It is, we are better than software.
Better than the
software company.
Everything.
We are in a rural area. See all our employees, like they get salary, they get electricity, they get milk at production cost, a fresh milk. No software engineer gets.
Tempting everybody. No.
They get some fresh milk.
Okay.
He gets good egg.
Okay.
He gets good meat. He's got 100% insurance. 100% insurance.
Okay.
And he's got a house.
It's a great invitation for the audience.
We give him a decent house. The electricity bill is paid by the firm, and the TV is a common TV. Now on to the top, the internet, unlimited internet is also given to the last laborer.
Fantastic.
Now tell me, which is now how many companies they
I
will
don't
allow?
think even any top companies of India are providing now.
No, this is what is. You can come to my farm, you can see.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That is one more thing is a lot of people now see south we have shortage of labor. India is no more country with the surplus labor. Especially south is we have a huge deficit for labor. Our labor source comes from West Bengal, Assam, not Assam, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh or Jharkhand, and to some extent Orissa. So these people when they come here. When they come here, we give them a good room, a place. First they come and see how many plug points are there to charge the phone. So all that we give them. We give them a hot water. The labor also is, we have to treat him like a human being.
Good.
So once he starts, we tell them he can eat any amount of egg, any quantity of egg. For few days he gets tempted to eat, but later on he doesn't. So like these young boys, few days they get built, they get their debit card, they send the money to their native place, they buy new dress. So with this, on a holiday when they go back to their native place, you see a transformed person.
Person to the village.
So it becomes a brand there. In that village, like mera beta ko bhi leke jao tera saath. So that is that.
My integrated.
That is how it goes.
So thank you so much. Giving a very. How many people are there with you right now? Entire total workforce.
We have little less than 400 people, but you can say 400 people.
So given life for the 400 families.
No. 400 people have built this organization.
Okay, very good. Yeah. That's a benevolence of you. Let us move on because of the positive, the time and other thing will manage it. Now I want to come into the favorite enterprise which you are handling, poultry. So can you explain how are you making it as a successful enterprise, well known in Karnataka, because I know you from last 3 decades. So how are you handling this poultry business, and explain the audience about your...
I always believe in united we work, we all succeed. In agriculture, unity is the key for success. So when I got into poultry, like I used to go for many association meetings, like everybody used to blame, or not blame, they never knew what is happening around. So then I said, being MSc in agriculture statistics, I said few years of market data, we can find out what is happening. So we did collection of data, we analyzed the data, then we were able to clearly demark the seasonal cycles, when we should grow more, when we should grow less, when we can make profit. All this part of the things, like we started doing it. So it's something called demand based production. Demand based production is the key in agriculture. If you grow more than the market requires, anything, any commodity or any agriculture crop, the price crashes. So, and invariably the government is favoring the consumer. Of course, they say farmer is the key thing, but it's not the farmer. Right now, the oil price is going up. That's very good for a oil farmer like me. I'm an oil palm farmer also. My cost of production is about 17,000 rupees or so. I'll be getting my cost of production now. But already the consumer has started crying. The oil palm price of oil is higher. Because of this, what has happened today, last so many years, the government listened only to the consumer. They never listened to the farmers. In the whole process, the farmer got disincentivized to produce oil seeds. So every year, the gap of oil requirement for the country, edible oil requirement of in the country, it got widened. So government also need to balance. So they should see that the farmer is profitable. There is a considerable amount of production is going to be made, which can go to the consumer. Consumer also should know the cost of production of milk or cost of production of oil, it should come. Just because some XYZ country, for example, you take Indonesia. Indonesia, coconut, oil palm, it is just grown all around. It's like its crop is thrown because they get a rainfall every day. They are on such a beautiful soil. It's all volcanic ashes and soil, which is highly nutritious. Like you get a fantastic yield. Land is plenty of land is available, 5,000, 10,000 acres. Anybody can go to Indonesia and can start a farm. In India, that is not the situation. Because of land reforms, because of fragmentation, we have all small units. But there they are blessed with the natural resources, so their cost of production is lower. But in India also certain things we are better in cost of production. We should encourage that, and we should also create a market where product can be exported all over the world. For example, poultry. Poultry is one business, or poultry or even dairy is one business. Dairy business, of course, there is a biggest problem in the dairy business because of the cooperatives. The upper price, selling price is capped, whereas the raw material price, it keeps fluctuating. So making profit is a task, big task in dairy. Whereas in poultry, the raw material price is also fluctuating. The market price is also open and it is fluctuating. And we know how the market behaves. So we can safely pay and we can safely make a profitable balance sheet year after year in poultry. But that is in a similar way in dairy, it is not possible. It's not possible. See, in our country, the meat consumption is increasing. Today, only the cheapest source of meat is definitely poultry. There is no other option. And protein is, we are deficient. So we need more and more protein to be grown. We need more and more oil. We need more and more fiber. This is the dietary requirement of this today. Today in my portfolio of farming, I have poultry and milk, which is a source of protein. I have oil palm plantation, which is a source of edible oil. And I have jackfruit, which is my another new venture, which is grown as a vegetable. 365 days you can grow as a vegetable, which is a high fiber content, which is required in the diet. So I'm growing something like protein, fiber, oil, and this combination. All this four is bound to be winner. In a stock market, if you take different index, in a similar way in agriculture also, you should choose the winning index. So meat, protein, it's a winning index. Edible oil, it's a winning index, winning crop. Similarly, fiber is a winning crop. So that is how it goes. Just making a profitable just because my grandfather was growing something that I am going to continue with the same growing, that is not going to work. We have to grow the crop which is based on demand.
Fantastic.
That is a core called demand-based production.
Fantastic. Now, how much is the poultry enterprise you are having? What are the breeders? How many numbers? Just for the understanding of the audience. so that you
Yeah, I can produce about every day around 60,000 plus chicks.
chicks you are producing.
60,000
So
plus.
you spread out of Karnataka?
Yeah, we are in Karnataka. We also have associates in different parts of the country.
Okay.
So we are.
You sell hatching eggs?
Yeah, we sell
chicks.
hatching eggs. We are partners. We are partners. Like I don't believe in
Growing alone?
no doing everything myself.
Okay.
There are people in poultry business. They think that they should have the breeding, they should have their own feed mill, they should have their own retailing, they should have their own processing. Yes, and here what happens? Everything you can take it, and you can take the struggle, and you can make profit. But on the other side, like if you can share with another 4 or 5 people, the happiness or collectively growing, it is something more satisfactory for me than just individually growing.
Fantastic. So let me move on. So recently I saw your last of postings where you moved into different countries to explore agriculture farming. So can you narrate what made you to choose Brazil to go, and then they are doing fantastic in coffee, palm cultivation, jackfruit, which you mentioned. You're almost becoming like a dietary prescription for the agriculture.
Yes.
You need fiber, you need protein, you need energy, all that you're encapsulating and telling the farmers that you can do that.
Yeah.
So can you elaborate on that?
You see, today, for example, simple example, growing sugar is a negative commodity. Like any person who's aged above 20-25 years, like if somebody is going to make a dietary chart, the consumption of carbohydrate, consumption of sugar, it's going to get reduced. The consumption of protein, consumption of fiber, consumption of minerals, consumption of edible oil, all this is increasing. Now you think where you should be. You should be in a business where it's a promising crop, which is a promising crop, not a negative crop like sugar. I have nothing against sugar. I like sugar, but the crop, if you look at, earlier it was like only PDS distribution system where we used to feed the people, fill the belly with the cereals and some sugar. But today nobody is interested in that. So everybody wants a versatile crop. See why I like tropical country. See, visiting every country, I visited more than 70 odd countries. But the point is we have to pick up many things from many places. But what is relevant for us for a tropical country, we can see only in a tropical region. Like why somebody can grow so much in such and such a place, how they are growing, what is the tips for us, why we are not able to do that. That is the key. So in that context, if you look, Brazil is one country where you can follow them for coffee, you can follow them on soya, maize, ethanol.
Are you mentioning
Yeah,
about that?
in fact, India has got 1/3 of the area of Brazil. Okay, our productivity of maize is almost 1/3 or little more than 1/3 compared to that country. Imagine that if we can double or triple the productivity of maize or any other cereals, we can straight away go like Brazil, 70% ethanol on all our energy requirement, 20% gasoline. We can make India's balance sheet, the biggest outflow is petroleum. That itself we can cut. In fact, to such an extent, with what is available in our country, it is almost sufficient for 40% of requirement, 40% of gas, this thing. We can export 20% gas out of the country. And the whole economy will be shifted to a rural place. Instead of paying for petroleum import bill, you pay to the rural places. Create a rural place with the urban infrastructure, give similar facility for a rural area, give similar income. So automatically the rural area can become happier area than urban area.
Fantastic.
Today there is a flood in Bangalore, but there is no flood in Hesarghatta or there is no flood in Dodballapur.
Definitely.
So
we are living in a better area.
A better area, yeah.
And you could create it a very promising for the younger generation, saying that India should not have to worry on energy issues.
Yeah.
And you demonstrated that in Brazil, beautifully 70% of the energy they are able to generate in ethanol. See, Ashokji, you are known for data because whenever in many forums even including Poultry India, CEAH, Wiki, nobody challenges your data because you are a statistical man. And I've seen beautifully, I've depicted that in my presentation also, the beautiful Varna Chakra, green, red zones and profit zone and other thing. So that has given many people a solace, as you said, the demand driven production. So can you elaborate, how did you create it, what helps which will go on to the farmer in analyzing that?
See, in India, coming to that particular,
Chart.
52 weeks demand and supply for poultry and the price and the costing. There what happened is, it started with the necessity. So when everybody was like, there were people who were, when I got into the poultry, they were all experienced with few decades. But they used to say, why, I don't know. So that made us to collect data. Once you have a data, you can analyze it. Once it's data analyzed, the fact you can find out. Once there is a fact that you are not going to make profit on such and such a period, there is no point in growing that. It is just foolish. So that I wanted to do it from 2011 onwards. Every year in the month of December, I make this chart for that particular year based on the prediction. So I predict every year this market will behave on such and such a week, on such and such a pattern. So that has helped many poultry farmer. And also, like today, it is not just me talking about demand based production. Along with me, there are few hundred people behind me in poultry business in India. They say yes, demand based production is the key. So we should produce more when there is a demand.
And this Varna Chakra is valid for all India, right? It is not.
It is valid for all India. Valid for all India.
Very good, very good. So now let us move on, because I want to know about your personality now, because now we understood that you created so much of thing. I have seen your mother, very inspiring lady. As I always say that my mother is tigress, and I will call your mother also as a tigress of motivating. And that probably that I assume that you created Ma integrators with Ma being powerful name as goddess or our mothers or our parents. So what keeps you positive, and can you narrate about your family?
It is, see, the inspiration is not just my mother. In my family, almost all women, my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, all of them are there. Like my great grandmother who passed away, was in 1890, she was the one, she wanted every child to study. So she made her children's, I can show you notes which they wrote in English of somewhere in 1890s and all that. So that way, like we never, in fact, many women in my family, they are successful. They are not just successful, they are very successful. They are, to some extent, you can say, they are even better than some men. So that way, like a equal opportunity is given to everybody. So, and we, whatever we do at in the farm, it's a farming activity is a extended family. So the entire family takes the responsibility of everything. It is not just one team. It is not the office which opens at 10 o'clock in the morning and closes at 5 o'clock. In farming, it's a house. It's open 365 days. If I am not there, my wife will take a decision. If my wife is not there, my children will take a decision. Or if in my native place, my mother will take a decision. So it is all collective working and collective decision which has come from ages. Yes, to great extent, when we share our responsibilities, the things become lighter. The responsibility becomes collective. The authority also can become collective. So that's how
that keeps you motivated.
That is the whole story.
Very good, very good. Can you elaborate about your children now, next generation? How are you motivating them? What is your message to them? And then how are you visualizing them?
See, when I started, when I came to Bangalore, I told my parents that I have my dream to chase. So today my children are grown up, both are qualified. Both are just, one is a CA and she is registered as a lawyer. Another girl is also registered as a lawyer. They want to pursue their higher education with MBA finance or things like that in one of the reputed university in the world. So first thing is they should chase their dream.
Dreams.
So chasing their dream, and if they can create something wonderful somewhere, whatever we have created, it is always there. So they can always take care in from anywhere. So that is not a criteria. And I don't want to push my children to my business and see that kill their dream, or they need not repent that I could have done such and such a thing which is much better than that. I don't believe in that. So we have a team of people. So it is not just my children. We have staff. We have their children also. There are a lot of
That is
people.
your family also.
Yeah, so that is also an extended part. So that way, like, we have a good team to work. So that I don't think there are many people, they think who's going to take care of your business. There are many people to take care of the business. Nothing to worry
You
about.
mentioned in the informal discussion, many of your employees' children have got to Infosys.
Yes.
Many of them have gone to business schools, etc.
Yes, yes.
Very good. So now we are almost wrapping up the discussion. What are your future plans now? You feel young. I always say that you're a double-hearted gentleman, and you feel young also.
Yeah, I look myself as everybody around me is getting retired. All my friends are getting retired. My classmates are getting retired. We go for a party, retirement party, and we discuss what next to do in retirement. For me, definitely there's going to be no retirement. So that is number one. Number two, what you want to do is what you want to do. You want to be happy, so you have to be happy. So definitely I like to meet more people. If I can help in some way, somewhere, I want to do that. Me and my wife and all of us, we are planning to start an educational institution. This educational institution today, if you talk about education institution, everybody thinks it is one more business. This is not going to be a business. This is where we have set aside a portion of the property which will generate few crores of income. This income we are going to we are going to use it for the education of about 60 to 100 children.
Fantastic.
So we are going to start a college affiliated to Sanskrit University with the degree program to start with, later post-graduation also, with the very eminent professors with PhD and with the national and international repute. So we will give them a graduation in astrology, Vastu and yoga.
Okay.
And the key there is they need not pay 1 rupee for us. The other way is by the end of when they come to third year, they will be able to generate revenue for the institution. And apart from that, if somebody thinks that something is available in this institution free of cost, we have put a small rider that for having spent that much of money, that the person should pass certain criteria, something like 70% or 75%, which we are going to fix it as a criteria. So if he is going to get that marks, he will ask him no money with him. Of course, if he cannot do it for some reason also, we can still give it. But if somebody thinks it is available for free, I can go for 3 years and hardly study, or if he is not able to put his effort into the put his effort for the education, like we will tell him to pay the fees. Otherwise, this education will be totally sponsored.
Great initiative.
Sponsored, and this institution will, by the time they come out of college, we will see that they will make similar income or better income than an average engineer or a medical profession. And we will see that they are equipped with all kind of technology in IT, all computer knowledge, and they will teach them good English, good presentation skills. So that way we will see that he will be able to stand up and speak anywhere about India, about astrology, and he can do some prediction for that. Recently, I also started practicing astrology.
Oh, great.
So it's of recent interest for me. So in coming years, we will do some kind of dent in that field.
Fantastic. In Kannada, we say "Aadu muttata soppilla." Like that, you have touched every facet of agriculture, every facet of animal husbandry you tried and proved successful.
No, no, no. I did not touch every part of it.
Okay.
Wherever there is a profitability,
Oh, you said
where it is financial viable, only I touched.
you told in the beginning that indexed one. That means you know how to trace the index where it is moving
Yeah,
to the
going
winning
upward.
profitability,
Yeah.
and you touch that. Very good. That's why I call it as you are very positive and then confident. So let us conclude a very nice discussion we had. You're involved in many industry bodies. I could not mention that. You're with CII, you're with FICCI, you're with a lot of Agriculture Skill Council, etc., etc. Finally, what are your 5 recommendations to prevent this urban migration of youth? We are getting a lot of people from village becoming like frustrated, despondent. They don't want to be in the villages. How can we create our so-called now villages are becoming like old age homes? How can you really rephrase them, give them a positivity like you? We all migrated from village. I also from village. You are also from village. So how you can say that they can really create their vision in the villages? 5 recommendations.
Yeah, see, one is this is going to happen automatically. The circle is going to complete now. The situation is in such a way that people have migrated and people are getting a job in urban areas, but there is nobody to grow food. So the situation will become such a grave situation, like the food item is going to become expensive. Automatically, the income of a farmer will go up. This is bound to happen today or tomorrow. It's bound to happen. But before that happens, we should see that some amount of youth are attracted towards agriculture, specifically into collective or large scale agriculture. Small scale agriculture is an utter flop in many countries, including India. So, small scale agriculture, very niche product, that works out. Otherwise, large scale farming is only an operation. So, over there, what is happening is one of the thing is like we have come up with the concept of farmer producing company, but only few companies have become successful. But individual who's got a taste or who wants to do agriculture, definitely there is going to be a future. So you identify a crop or you identify the area, like maybe poultry or maybe dairy or maybe value addition or maybe small processing unit, where you need not be straight away into agriculture, but you can do a setup in a rural area. You can set up a small processing unit, or you can provide even a service center wherein people generate much higher than money than any of the urban venture. But people are exposed to a certain amount of lifestyle. They think urban life is much better. But if you see generally, like most of the urban people, like they go for work, they come back in a traffic, they spend 1.5 2 hours in traffic. After they come back home, they get tired. They at the most they sit in front of TV or maybe do some household work. They sleep and they get up and go. But whereas the life in rural area, which is much better than urban area. So this is what will, I think it will attract more youth towards agriculture in coming days. There are areas like, for example, small scale farming areas like North Canara, where a small pepper farmer with few acres of pepper, he earns 30-40 lakhs rupees. And there are certain crops where earning is not a issue, but people don't know that. People don't know that, but that will happen. That is bound to happen. For example, indoor plants, growing indoor plants is a great business. Great business to an extent. There is no loss in that. As the plant keeps growing, if it is not sold, it keeps growing. If it keeps growing, the price also keeps growing with that. So always a nursery business is an excellent business. So there, especially people make a very good money in that. So like that, there are a lot of opportunities. So many people are misguided. They depend upon ancestral property. With the similar ancestral crop only they do it. Crops like millets or maize or to that matter even sugar cane, etc. It has got limited income. Some innovative crops we have to introduce. We have to see that it also gets exported. It creates a generation. But unless you give good infrastructure for the rural area, the people will not come back to rural area. Today, many rural villages, it has got a good network and which is connected by
Digital economy is there.
digital economy. Apart from digital economy, they're connected to a good roads, and many houses in rural areas is better than the urban houses. The people are very comfortable. So that day is going to change. I hope it will change faster than we think.
Thank you so much, Ashok ji. You symbolize earlier concept of zamindars and people with respect were in the villages. Now we are considering farmer will be a lucrative profession in the agriculture or in animal husbandry. He can be respectably positioned in the society.
Definitely.
That is what we are promising.
Definitely.
So thank you, all the best for your
Thank
future
you.
career.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
wonderful having you. I think great gentleman we introduced today that you have gone through his entire summarily. I would say that the positivity, confidence, and how you can create profitable venture. As he rightly said, he did not choose the venture for simple entering into it. He chose the profitable venture. So our academy endeavors to showcase such heroes, and this is our 19th hero. We projected it. Looking forward for the future 20th episode. Thank you so much, Ashok ji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.